Good evening. My name is Brightops, and welcome back to Mordheim, City of the Damned. The time has come. I made a promise to myself and my viewers that once Miss Lana was finished her training, that we would attempt our first proper story mission, and I fully intend to go through with it. There's going to be a few differences between this and a normal mission, but I'll explain those once we get into it proper to better demonstrate them. As you'll also no doubt notice, for the first time, Trevor has moved off into the reserves in order to learn some training. We are currently teaching him how to better reload his rifle, which will make it a bit cheaper for him to use the reload action, which hopefully will mean that he will be able to better defend himself, or at least get a few more shots off, depending on what comes first. So, in this case, Grey Vested and Conrad have returned to the party for this mission. With that out of the way, let's see what the day has for us.
Market stock has been replenished.
Let's see. Lana's learned sidestep. Trevor's learning quick reload. I did send some wordstone to one of our friends at the Brigandsburg in order to gain some money. And the shop has been updated. So we have a new shield, some heavy armor. Let's see. I might pick up the shield just to give it to... Let's see, who uses... Yes, we'll give it to Conrad, since he's one of the few people who uses shields. So we can give him a slightly better one. And... why not? We'll give him a pendant, which will give him a slightly better chance at Terror, Fear, and All Alone tests, since we cannot, at the moment, get him a helmet. But anyway, let us get this started, shall we? Now, since we've managed to get our rating to at least over 700, this will be our first mission will be more of a normal one rather than an uphill, oh god, we're all gonna die. Let's see, our party is organized. We have Scythe and Miss Lana with us, and we are being led by Cyclone. Let us do this.
This barge will bring us to the docks. The quayside is in the possession of the Ratkin. If we are to use this area to speed transport of Wordstone to the Baron, the vermin must be exterminated. Only when the last of their foul breed has been driven from the area can we safely begin to use these docks. This will be no easy task. There is no surprising the Ratmen. Their eyes and ears are everywhere. They will be waiting for us to strike. They will have planned their ambush and laid their traps well. You must be cautious as you make your attack, but do not allow caution to make you timid. If we are to have any chance of success, speed is of the essence. The Skaven are a fractious breed, but they will rally together to destroy a common foe. Reinforcements will come swarming up from the burrows of the Ratkin if they think the quayside will be lost to them. The sewers leading to their burrows must be sealed, or there will be no victory for us here. A band of dwarf treasure hunters failed where we hoped to succeed. Fortunately, they left behind a store of blasting powder in great ironwood barrels. Find these barrels and set them at each sewer junction. We can use them to seal the openings and cut off the Ratmen from their reinforcements. This must be done if we are to carry the day and make use of the quayside.
Well, we've seen...
A new round has started.
Ah yes, story missions. Certain game rules are different. During the missions they're different, as we can see here. For example, the warband will never rout. Morale has no impact on them. However, we still have morale. So if we lose enough people, we can be driven off, but even if we kill all of them, they will just end up getting reinforcements. The mission keeps going until all objectives are done. We also have a unique warrior for this, in the form of, well, our favorite little narrator. He's decided to come along with us for the ride. Each warband has their own version of this. They have their own hero person for this. If they die, the mission is considered over. But let us begin. So our objective so far is keep Luther alive, locate the dwarven blasting powder, and explore the sewer's depths. There be scavens about. Alright. So let's have a look here. We can see a grey seer and yes, one of their heroes currently waiting for us up there. I believe that's where our powder will be found. I will admit I'm not inclined to go up there just yet, because Sirius would have been up there alone, and it probably would have been very badly hurt, since he would not have been able to defend himself. And our Grey Seer is throwing some magic around. Great. And I do believe he has some pistols with him, which is also not great. But we will do what we can with what we've got. At the moment, we're gonna have to just climb up in order to do some engagement, but as I said, I would rather wait. It seems they are not alone. We also have just a normal henchman. Let's see. What choices do we have here? Normally I wouldn't have done something so risky, but we needed to clear the way a bit. If we had left Grey Vested there, he would have... This rat would have probably come up to him, and he would have blocked off that route up. He may have taken a bit of a hit, but in exchange for that, he has basically opened the way for reinforcements to come. Ah yes, and something that happens sometimes. Because our ratty friend here has stayed at the top of the thing, and we've climbed up, we gain an advantage for this attack. I can't remember if it's a hit chance or it just does more damage, but... if it works, it works. And truth be told, removing this little bastard from the equation as early as possible would be rather helpful, since while reinforcements will come, the fact of the matter is that they'll tend to be henchmen level. They won't be hero levels of reinforcements. Let's see, can we finish him off? Worth a shot. Yes, we can! So that's one ratty bastard down. Can we climb? Yes, we can. Now that he's no longer locked in combat, he can.
New objectives added. Objectives updated.
Damn. Well, our first goal here will be to simply walk around and gather all this dwarven blasting powder that's around the area. Which should be great. Now, usually during these videos, I will do a lore topic. Usually I will explain some aspect of the lore of the Warhammer Fantasy universe. And to some degree I will have to apologize for some. I do have something to apologize for. See, Warhammer lore, especially Warhammer Fantasy, though to be fair, Warhammer 40k
A
is
new
like
round
this
has
as well.
started.
It's like this as well. It's very interconnected, or you need to understand some aspects first in order to truly appreciate others. So it's very hard to find a starting point, as it were. It's hard to find a place that I can just pick up from here and everything will make sense. It's annoying, but there's not much we can do about it.
New objectives added. Objectives updated.
So if I end up rambling or seemingly lost, then that's probably why. It's because I'm usually trying to work out either there's something I've forgotten that has come to mind, or there are just various aspects that need to be acknowledged. However, this particular video, we are going to be talking about an individual deity that will, hopefully, by explaining it, help explain just the aspects of its followers.
Objectives updated.
In this case, we are talking about the Horned Rat, the single deity of the Skaven. Now, the Horned Rat is a god of destruction, more or less. It fully believes all it desires is the destruction of civilization and to have Skaven kind basically take over the world and be the only things ruling. And this desire is reflected in its home realm, the Realm of Ruin, which, honestly, that little rat just threw shuriken at us. That little bugger. But yes, the Realm of Ruin, effectively, as a plane of existence, it appears to be it appears to be the world as it is, but if the Skaven ruled it, i.e. a blighted wasteland of a place. Just having a quick look to see if there's anything. We've got the chests, anything else we should be aware of? No. But yes, the Realm of Ruin is basically it is a nightmarish plane whose only inhabitants
Objectives updated.
Basically the Vermin
Objectives
Lords,
updated.
who are the greater demons of the Horned Rat, the long-suffering demon rats, and the souls of dead Skaven, who travel there after they die. There is no heaven for the Skaven. Heaven does not exist for them.
Objectives updated. Objectives updated. Objective completed.
Okay, we found all the barrels. At the moment, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just trying to find a way up. Since we know that there is our Gracia friend who is up here. And I would like to say hello. In a very wonderful little way. Though I might let him come to us. Well, one of us was gonna fail the climb check sooner or later. And again. Third time's the charm. There we go. I do admit the fact Conrad is wearing heavy armor probably wasn't helping his case. But yes, when Skaven die, they will go to the Realm of Ruin. Now this can lead... Exactly how they live their lives will affect what they become when they reach the Realm of Ruin, though.
Objectives updated.
For example, most Skaven, when they die, will become demon rats. It's from what I can find, it's not a great existence, but it's not the worst either. Alternatively, Skaven who are considered failures will generally become... They will generally be turned into blind, fat mice to just willow away in their failure till the end of time.
A new round has started.
The closest thing to a happy ending that the Skaven can get is to be worthy of ascending to a demon... Not a demon prince, but a vermin lord. Which, as their greater demon, is more or less kind of the Skaven equivalent of becoming a demon prince. Now, this is a fairly rare thing to happen. Most of the vermin lords in the Realm of Ruin were created by the Great Rat himself, the Horned Rat himself, simply by...
Objective completed.
Simply by thinking them into existence. It's one of the benefits of being a god. But a fair number of them were once Skaven and living Skaven, who... They were basically the heroes of Skaven kind, who have more or less been... They did so great in life that in death they've more or less received a promotion. Which might not which honestly is a pretty big deal. It's the closest thing to heaven a Skaven can get. Though the Grey Rat hasn't really spoke... The Grey Rat will generally speak through the Grey Seers, who are the Skaven who can use magic. They're the ones who develop magic as a thing. They are generally taken and trained as the Grey Seers, and the Rat will most oftenly speak to them, though he has manifested before. Manifesting is something that he has done before. The last time he did it was during one of the Skaven civil wars. In the middle of their capital of Skavenblight, during the battle, he manifested in all of his horrific glory. He then proceeded to eat a bunch of the Skaven present, told them all to knock off the fighting because he had plans for them, ate a bunch more of them, and then slammed down a large pillar of wordstone in the middle of Skavenblight, and basically told them, alright, this is how things are going to run from here on out. This not only ended the Civil War, but it also led to the formation of the current ruling body of the Skaven in the Council of 13. As you can guess by the name, the Council has 13 seats, although one of them is always reserved for the Great Rat himself. So this leaves 12 spots for the Skaven themselves to seek to occupy. Now, the rules for how to become a council member, there are only really 2 of them. And while they may seem simple, both stages can be often very deadly. The first, the simplest, but some would argue that one of the more deadliest, is any Skaven from any rank in life, any Skaven can do this.
A new round has started.
From the heads of clans to Skaven slaves, they may go to Skavenblight, or in the case of slaves, if they actually are based in Skavenblight, because, well, they're slaves. They're not going to be if their masters don't want them leaving, they're not allowed to. But they go. The first step is, quite simply, the Skaven goes up to the giant pillar of Wordstone that's the Horned Rat slammed down into Skavenblight, and touch it. They have to if they can touch the stone without dying or mutating into a fate worse than death, which is incredibly rare for this to happen, they are considered blessed by the Great Horned Rat and thus are considered a legitimate contender for a council position. This leads into step 2. If you can touch the stone and not have your soul extinguished in a burst of warp fire that burns you alive from the inside out, you have to open a position on the council in order to take a position. This often means having to kill a current council member, which is not... Let's see, what are you carrying? Oh, you're not carrying anything, you're just scouting. Okay. Let's see what... Ah, yes, there's a bunch of Skaven ahead of us. We'll wait here for reinforcements, then. But, yes... in order to become a council member, you have to kill a council member. This is, as you can imagine, easier said than done, and is actually considered to be harder than step 1.
Objectives updated.
Since all you have to do for step 1 is quite literally, well, quite literally, you just have to touch a stone and hope you don't die. There's not much more you can do after that. In the case of the second step, though, that requires you to have to take on a council member, who is likely very aware of who you are, because they tend to keep an eye on the people who actually survive touching the stone. Keep in mind, any member of the Council of 13 not only tends to be incredibly powerful both by themselves and politically, they also tend to each have an army of just normal soldiers and assassins at their beck and call, and an almost limitless supply of resources to call upon. They also have the benefits that they were also cunning enough to, despite all these obstacles, overcome a previous member of the Council of 13 in order to get the spot. So you can imagine, changes in government do not happen often. And down goes their Grey Seer. And as we can see, one of the items that are useful only really to the Skaven themselves, the Warplock pistols. It's basically their version of a firearm. It's the only... I'm not entirely sure. I haven't played the Skaven myself recently, but I'm fairly certain it's the only firearm they have access to, and possibly the only... You know what, we'll take this, simply because I think it might be useful for our friend Scythe here. Sure, it might not be the axe of his wolf god, but... Hey, a hammer's a hammer. You take what you can get. Especially a holy hammer is a holy hammer. Now, to my knowledge, the Great Horned Rat has only interfered with one Skaven civil war. There have been quite a few of them, which, considering the nature of the Skaven, is not that surprising. As you can imagine from just the Council of 13 positions, that is fairly standard for all aspects of Skaven society.
A new round has started.
That just killing your superior in order to move yourself up is standard. In fact, words such as loyalty and bravery translate to the Skaven as stupidity. Oops. I did not intend to do that, but too late now. However, this Great Horn... And there goes a black powder trap. Admittingly, Sinister 7 got caught in it, but for a glancing hit, it hurts not only 2 Skaven, but stopped a charge. Which, honestly, sometimes you have to go with it. Down goes another Skaven. Admittingly, the fact that we're having Luther kill Skaven is something of a lost opportunity, since during this, the same rules of if we can nail various Skaven, for every Skaven you kill, you gain an experience point, which still stands here.
Objectives updated.
But we do what we can. At this point, merely just removing the heroes will just ensure that the reinforcements that are coming in are of lesser quality and risk of going up against. Pardon me. Now, despite the fact that the Horned Rat has only been the source of ending one civil war, he has been the focus of several more. Namely, that of what it comes down to is the existence of Clan Pestilin. Clan Pestilin is somewhat a unique Skaven clan. To explain how they came into existence, once upon a time, the various clans of Skaven, how the clans were established was there was a migration away.
A new round has started.
There was a migration away from Skavenblight. Exactly how. The exact reason for this, there's a couple of reasons for why this came about. Though the main driving force was an experiment by the engineers of Skavendom attempting to create a machine that, well, things went very wrong very quickly, and it almost destroyed Skavenblight and killed them all. Considering that the Skaven themselves decided that having them all in one place, that they could all die out due to another whoopsie, they decided to break off and explore the world a bit, to develop their own settlements and strongholds elsewhere, and the various clans were formed by adopting ideas from local cultures and learning skills that allowed them to stand out in Skaven society. Clan Pestilin decided to make the journey away from the old world to the jungles of Lustria. Now, to define what the simplest way to define what Lustria is, imagine the Amazon jungle on steroids, filled with dinosaurs, and basically spanning pretty much the land that makes up all of South America. To give you an idea, poisonous animals, plants, and tropical diseases are fairly... To say that they are common would be an understatement. And truth be told, even the Skaven themselves, when they first arrived, were almost wiped out by it. That's how bad it was. And these guys can breed incredibly fast. It is literally because they can breed incredibly fast that they managed to somehow survive in the new land. This is where Clan Pestilence discovered were better say, enlightened into the true nature of the horned rat. They started to focus on a doctrine that develop a doctrine that was more focused on the aspects of decay and disease, which they've started to develop ways of not curing diseases, but being able to survive with them, adapting to them to the points that they became effectively champions of pestilence. There is in fact a military unit to Clan Pestilin called the Plague Monk, to give you an idea. Now, after several generations, Clan Pestilin re-established contact with the larger aspects of Skaven society. And this caused quite a bit of a stir, because the doctrine that Clan Pestilin had adopted was so radically different from the standard worship of the Horned Rat that they declared Clan Pestilin to be heretics and launched a war to try and wipe them all out. This war would last, I believe, centuries, but would ultimately end in a stalemate, in which both sides, since neither side could properly win, they decided to not exactly coexist, but kind of put up with each other. As you can imagine, this was not the only civil war fought over this matter. There would be at least another major engagement dedicated to this subject. But there is some debate amongst the fandom about this. Strictly speaking, there is some debate over whether the Horned Rat that Clan Pestilin worships is actually the Horned Rat. Alright, I already checked his body. Never mind. See, Clan Pestilence, in how they have presented themselves, comes off very close to say, Nurgle worship. They come close to the worshippers of Nurgle in how they deal, not just their doctrine, but how they deal with certain things. And this would not be the first time in the setting that a deity in general, let alone one of the four Chaos Gods, has actually pretended to be another deity in an... And Grey Vested is down. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. But yes, it's not the first time in the setting that that a god has pretended to be another god in order to try and spread their influence elsewhere. Or failing that, or simply to increase their own personal power. So, there is some strong arguments to be made for it, too.
New objectives added. Objective completed.
Okay, this could be a problem. That's in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, known as Spine Taker, is a rat ogre. That is the Skaven's impressive unit. It is also one of the big units who is immune to, who can just simply punch through parrying. Which means that Cyclone here is not going to be leading this charge. Because if he did, he would probably die.
A new round has started.
But yes, the Great Horned Rat is a somewhat... Uh-oh. This isn't good. I had fully expected Spine Taker to chase after Cyclone. I did not expect him to go around this way. We need to do some clearing, we need to do it now. Thankfully, Sinister 7 has passed the fear test. It turns out that, yes, while seeing the giant rat monstrosity charging at them has terrified them to a degree, which is fair enough. Once actually in combat, they've kept their heads to their head, which is a good thing. Because this thing can attack at least twice. And we can't get Luther back there. Oh, whoops. That was the wrong... 'Twas the wrong thing, but... Hey, it works. Ah, Luther has a crossbow. Good to know. Yeah, one of the benefits of going after a big guy, if we can actually get the shot, if we can actually line him up, is, as you can see, big guys you get a bonus to hitting a big guy. Which makes sense because they're freaking huge. It's kind of difficult to miss them. Let's see, how much room in our bags? Our bag is empty. So we're going to be looting some of their stuff. But we might as well take advantage of it. It's here, we might as well just take it. Unfortunately, this particular hero has managed to hold it together despite being outnumbered. Which isn't great, but... well, we'll do what we can. Let's see, what I'm not entirely sure what that just did. Hold on. No, that's not it. Okay, here we go. The button I was looking for was B, to see what the debuffs on us are. Let's see... Ah, Agor's Vision. It's a Divine Wrath, because we're a divine spellcaster. Let's see, we have a minus 25% melee or range hits chance for the next 2 turns. Let's see, we don't have to pay anything in order to do perception rolls, and we get a bonus for doing it too. So, not all bad. So that's not necessarily all bad, but he should not be fighting at any time soon. I am also fairly certain that the Skaven reinforcements are currently gathering just to come into the tunnels. CD, yep, you're the one who's currently carrying the blasting charges. All in all, this is going reasonably well. I mean, yes, the fact that we lost Grey Vested is a bit of a blow.
A new round has started.
All things considered, the fact that we're only down 2.
Objectives updated.
2 so far. Ouch. Ah, yes, another thing about the Impressives, even in their base level, they will still... just naturally they'll be able to strike at least 3 times. The reason that 7 got away with only 2 the first time is because it charged at her. Or him. Ah. Alright. Now that we've moved around here where we're not being obstructed, well, we're gonna miss, but if nothing else, we'll at least have an easier time of hitting him from here on out. Seed weak. I might... No, I'll send him back now that the path has been cleared up a little, or at least it's going to be cleaned up a little bit. And what has this done? Unearthly vision. It doesn't say. Not great, but we'll see what we can do. So my current plan here is, once we kill this hero here, we're going to move Conrad out of the way. Let Scythe go in and start smacking Spine Taker with his hammer. And then we'll see what we can do from there. Okay. And down goes Trice Shanks. Meanwhile, while we're doing that, we're gonna have Luther make sure we don't have anyone sneaking up behind us. Because while I am confident that we're gonna have to make a comeback in order to pick that stuff up, sadly there's no real major point of
Objectives updated.
stealing their idol. It doesn't affect their morale, though it would give us a boon that would allow us to move a bit faster.
Objectives updated.
Let's move a little bit faster. We'll still pick up... We'll at least still pick up what's there. Oh, whoops. Seems we're gonna have to run another barrel up to where Cyclone is. Just to pop it right.
A new round has started.
Oh boy. Okay, miss. Just has to. Damn.
Objectives updated.
That is unfortunate. Might as well get a free shot on the big boy. And take some more pot shots into his back. Because, truth be told, the sooner we take down Spine Taker, the better off we're all going to be. Because right now, all the other Skaven I've seen so far are seemingly henchmen. I'm pretty sure we've dealt with their heroes. Spine Taker is literally the most dangerous thing they've got. Alright, we're gonna take a risk here. Just to try and... I know that parrying is pointless, but... Well, I'm hoping that having multiple targets will allow... Well, it will try and split its attacks between multiple targets rather than... rather than trying to just get to gang up and kill one person. We also have another reason for wanting to kill Spine Taker, despite it being an objective. I'm fairly certain that both Sirius and Seven were carrying the three other barrels we need in order to block the sewer up. So we're gonna have... So in order to free the way up to... In order to free the way up to them, this bastard has to go down. I need to get Scythe some heavier armor. It won't help his spell casting out by any means, but well, quite honestly, just having the extra absorption of damage would probably help him out. We're not really using him. We're going to be using him much for in the way of spell casting. Alright. Damn. We were five off. And while I will admit the free swing we had at Spine Taker here might not have hit him, but the fact that it ate a dodge is actually pretty damn useful. It saves us having to actually take a swing that costs us anything. So close. I'm fairly certain this thing is on 8 health. As much as I would have liked Cyclone to have gone to basically give...
Objective completed.
To have given Miss Lana some cover. And just to show off, this is what I mean by the fact that the Rat Ogre is immune to parry. Basically any monstrous creature that can use braces, parry does not work against. It is, however, useless to us. Which is unfortunate, but such is life. Even if we do get our impressive, the ogre actually uses weapons. Though he generally has enough strength and other nastiness that he can probably, if not be immune to parry, then at least be able to overcome it fairly reasonably.
A new round has started.
Yep. And more Skaven mooks have arrived. Thankfully, none of them have gone after Miss Lana yet, because I don't have her in a dodge stance. See which nope, that's Spine Taker. Now where's those barrels of gunpowder? We'll take care of this.
Objectives updated.
Well, if nothing else, we'll also recover that cluster, which always worth getting. Well, our one barrel is alright, she'll serve our purposes nicely. And that we knew for a fact that... Since we knew for a fact that at least one of our enemies, one of the places we need to put down is at the back. We can send him back there. We'll just have to recover the other two from Sinister. See, Spine Taker. We did here. No, let's try Shanked. He's not the one we're after. Also, one of the benefits of this is gold when you collect them can stack. Which is always nice. And plus there's no harm in gathering a couple more points of XP from killing the mooks as they come through. Yeah, so leave Monsieur Conrad here, just in case we have any of the sneaky little rat bastards come up behind us, just to make sure we do not get flanked. And another rat bites the dust. Do. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. And I'm going to stop there before I get sued for copyright infringement. But yes, at this point...
A new round has started.
At this point, this is, despite the losses we have suffered, which... unfortunate, but not unpredictable. Especially because... this will generally be the first time your party will encounter an impressive. So there will generally be there's always going to be a fair bit of pain and suffering when it comes to this engagement. Though, if nothing else, we have at least managed to keep casualties reasonably low. I will admit the sad part, it's kind of sad that we haven't had to show off Sidestep just yet, but honestly I was kind of expecting this whole situation to have gone a lot more close range and brutal a lot sooner than this. And oh look, it's one of our little ratty friends. Personally, I'm not going to set up an ambush here, since considering the angle it can come at us from, there's a good chance it won't trigger. Huh. Not entirely sure what Miss Lana just shot at, but... Oh, I went... just going the wrong little way there. Whoopsie-daisy. Damn. We're gonna have to see if there's anyone with an empty pack. Yes, he does. Just to collect a bit of extra wordstone for our troubles for doing this mission. Yeah, not much, but a little bit's better than nothing. If nothing else, we can potentially just sell it off to one of the factions who will buy wordstone from us. Yeah. Just looking down that corridor, you can just see, just from all the bags of loot of dropped people, just how much of a mess that really was. Nasty, nasty affair.
A new round has started.
But we won. Sometimes that's all that matters. And sometimes there is a benefit from not taking the ambush stance, since it means you get to counter-attack. As we just see, that can be quite devastating. Now let's see, we've got just one little thing to drop off.
Objectives updated.
Now with that done, let's see if we can get close enough to give an order command. No. Unfortunate, but... meh. What you gonna do? And because he's stunned, why not take advantage of the situation just to cause a bit extra damage? Because all we need to do... see, are you gonna ambush? Yes, yes you are. Ouch.
Objectives updated.
I didn't think he'd be able to hit hard enough to do that, but... well.
Objective completed.
Well, this is going somewhat annoyingly. Literally all we need to do to finish this mission is get Conrad an extra foot. That is literally it. If we can get him to that yellow circle to drop off that one case of blasting powder, we've won this mission. This will be a success. And the fact that these little ratty bastards are getting in the way is somewhat frustrating.
A new round has started.
Well, on the plus side, we'll at least get to witness we'll get to witness sidestep, which is something of an upgrade to dodge. It effectively allows you to dodge twice, which, for example, if this can also count as for example, if our ratty friend here takes a swing at Lana and manages to connect the first time, she might be able to dodge a follow-up blow, which can be life-saving, especially in cases like with, say, Spine Taker, in which the little bastard can strike multiple times with a great deal and hurt a great deal. Okay, another rat down. Let's just finish. Nope, that's the wrong one.
Objective completed.
And victory is ours. It wasn't a perfect victory. We had some losses, but we managed to get through it.
Do you hear that explosion? Do you see the plume of smoke rising into the sky? Do you smell the stink of gunpowder on the wind? That is victory, my friend. That is what triumph is. The sewers are closed, and it will take considerable effort for the Ratkin to open them again. Let us pray to Sigmar that the foul beasts lack the unity of purpose to mount such an effort. The first barge is ready to be loaded. Using the River Stir, we will be able to speed the Wordstone you've secured to Beckhaven faster and more safely than the overland route. Baron von Leitdorfer will gain a great advantage over his rivals as his supplies of Wordstone expand. The Baron is an indulgent patron. As his fortune and position grow, he will not forget the servants who made such an achievement possible. The Baron will send some token of reward in gratitude for the service you have performed this day. Continue to scour the ruins for more Wordstone. Every shard you recover not only helps the Baron, but diminishes the fortunes of his enemies and rivals. When I have word from Baron von Leitdorfer, I will let you know.
Okay, let us see what the price of this success is going to be. Oh yes, another little thing is for quest missions, just completing them automatically counts as an optional objective, which gives you a nice little bonus. Okay. See, serious armor, permanent injuries, broken jaw. The warrior's jaw has been shattered, resulting in impaired speech. The injury reduces leadership and maximum leadership by 1, and spellcasting chance by 5%. That second part doesn't really bother us because, well, serious armor here is not going to be casting any spells anytime soon.
Remarkable.
He is thankfully not a wizard. He has also leveled up. Grey Vested, full recovery. Wonderful. Sinister 7, deep wound. The warrior suffered a grievous wound, but over time makes a miraculous recovery. Not great. 7 will be off the roster for at least the next 4 episodes, but this won't have any lingering effects after that. Which is good. Which is a good thing to have.
The gods are with you.
Conrad's leveled up. And Scythe has had a full recovery. Wonderful.
Fantastic.
I think that was everyone who went down, so...
Your warband is getting stronger.
We have also leveled up the warband and gained another henchman slot. So wonderful. And another reserve slot. So let's see, apart from serious armor breaking his jaw and Sinister 7 having a fairly deep wound, we got away with that fairly scot-free. Alright. And that was our first story mission. Well, which, despite the fact that half of the team went down, was a smashing success. Now, my name is Brightops, and I will look forward to hearing from you. Take care, everyone.